More about the victims in the shootout. We're also getting new video of the terrifying moments.
Eyewitness News reporter Carly Gomez has more from the scene as neighbors piece together exactly what happened.
Philhurst Street is now reopened after a gunman killed a civilian Saturday night along with a police officer and injured one other officer. Neighbors say they believe this all took place over an argument over a parking spot.
Get in, go to the back. It's gunshots. There's a shooter.
New Ring camera video showing the moments a civilian ran for his life and was gunned down in front of a Baldwin Park resident's home.
And I guess he ran through the middle and came and worked his way over here. He fell right there. So when I came over here to see, he was already on the ground. And that's all I saw.
Police officers returning shots with the gunman as a man lay dying in front of Norma Lemus's sidewalk.
I was in shock. And I still am, it's not something I see every day, I just felt sorry for him,
Neighbors gathering today amongst each other as they try to piece together what happened.
One of the neighbors were having a housewarming party, their new neighbors across the street. So the shooter came out and told, apparently, the guy that was parking there, you cannot park there. And the guy still parked there. And that's what started the whole process, because then I just, it was on that side of the road across the street.
Investigators have not released the motive for the shooting. We do know that Baldwin Park police were the first to respond around 7:15 p.m. Saturday. The sheriff's office tells us upon arrival, they found a man dead in front of a home. That's when the suspect opened fire on police. Officer Samuel Riveros was shot and taken to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. A second officer, Anthony Pimentel, was shot and released from the hospital Sunday morning. The identity of the civilian found deceased has not been released. A memorial has been placed where he died. We spoke to the mother of the suspected gunman, who didn't want to go on camera, but told us in part, quote, "There's victims, and that's what's hurting me. I have no words for those families. My son, he's definitely going through something." We know the suspect was shot and has non-life-threatening injuries. He is expected to be facing murder charges. Carly Gomez, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
All right, peace and blessings. Peace and blessings. All praises to the Most High. And that is an update on the story I did this morning. The officer who was shot, one of the officers who was shot in the shootout, as you saw in Baldwin Park, I think that's a neighborhood or a suburb of Los Angeles, succumbed to his injuries and he passed. While they're saying that the suspect was also shot and he is in the hospital as well. But one thing about this that is concerning me, and I'll get to that later, but they said that this man, the suspect, was, I guess, the owner of a house in the area, and some neighbors were having a housewarming party, and he came out and told the guy not to park there, and the guy parked there anyway. So evidently there was an argument that ensued, in which the guy who parked there, as the story says, was shown running for his life before being gunned down. I guess neighbors called and said, hey, there's a guy out here shooting people. And that's when police pulled up, and I guess you saw what transpired next. Officers returning fire, then one officer retreating. But evidently this man shot the man dead. And then when the police came, he said, look, I'm holding court in the street. So he's already accused of one body, and he's already, two bodies, really. And, with the police officer, that is much more serious. They hold that with a lot of weight. But one thing in the article that troubles me is that when they said, well, the suspect has not been publicly identified. Now, I would understand this if he had not been captured or if he was still on the run. You probably don't want the public to know or, give him, any, I guess, way of escape. But since he's in a hospital, he's already in custody. Why is his identity not released? Now, keep in mind the young man that shot two Columbus police officers last week, ran on the run. He was captured. he was captured, and this is one of the articles that highlight his identity. This says, sheriff, man accused of shooting officers shot himself. And we'll share more on that story later on. But you see, this man accused of shooting 2 officers is a black man. He's a black man. He's accused of shooting 2 officers, and he has identified to the public. Also, you know the story of Rodney Hinton Jr., accused of running over a deputy sheriff in Cincinnati, Ohio. You see his identity being publicized, being plastered all over the media, so on and so forth. Now, also later last month, it was a white man who shot a police officer, killed him, who came up on his porch, basically shot him for nothing. Now, I had to scour the internet to find a picture of this man. So my question is, what is the protocol for not releasing the identity of suspects involved in police shooting? Now, here we have 2 black men allegedly involved in police killings, and their identity has been released. The white man who shot the police officer, they wouldn't even say his name, the sheriff said one time. So my question is, why is the identity of this person not being released? Is it because he's a white man? And of course, you have to protect whiteness even when they attack other white people. Now, this is just my stab in the dark. It's conjecture. I don't know, but I searched other articles, looking for the identity of this man, and I have yet to find it. Even this article, which highlights the death of the police, does not identify or release the identity of the person who shot him, which I find strange. Just watch this one as well.
Baldwin Park Police Department after a shootout Saturday left 1 officer dead and another wounded.
This morning, we know the name of the officer who lost his life. Gigi Graciette is live in Baldwin Park now with the latest where a memorial is growing. Good morning.
Jen and Bob, good morning. Good morning, everyone. We're outside the police department and where that memorial that you speak of is, and it continues to grow. We've been reading some of the messages of love and loss. They are from members of the community. They are from friends. They talk about Officer Riveros' love of snowboarding. They're from the Little League team here. Truly a city in mourning today. Caught on camera, the sound of gunfire, presumably between a still unnamed suspect and Baldwin Park police officers, pierced the air Saturday night. The gunfire marking the end of a life. Police officer Samuel Riveros, known simply as Sam to most who knew and loved him, the 35-year-old killed in the line of duty after responding to a call of a man with a long gun shooting at people on Philhurst. As Officer Riveros and Officer Anthony Pimentel rushed in to help, they were both shot by that suspect, who police say had already killed another man, an innocent father, 43 years old, who had just parked his car down the street and was walking to a family party after he dropped off his wife and children. The suspect, who has not been publicly identified, was later taken into custody after reportedly being shot by officers. But for Riveros and that innocent man walking down the street, it was too late. Those who knew Officer Sam say it's his smile and positive attitude they will remember and miss the most.
Thinking of how he always participated in these events. Some of the video I saw on Instagram of him at Read Across America, always being part of the community and the kids. So it's difficult to see all of this and know that he's not going to be able to do that.
Baldwin Park Police Chief describing Riveros as an avid snowboarder and Dodgers fan who would travel to stadiums across the country just to see his team play. Riveros had been an officer here since 2016, and in 2019 he joined the agency's SWAT team. He was also a field training officer and served as a mentor to many. Now, bringing it back live, you were looking at some of the police cars from different agencies that are here to help today. We're talking about West Covina, Monrovia, Claremont, El Monte, Laverne, to name just a few. Their officers, their dispatchers are stepping in today to help the city of Baldwin Park as they grieve the loss of this officer. Reporting live, I'm Gigi Graciette. Back to you.
All right, so I'm going to end it there. And you see that news clip focused on memorializing the officer, focusing on the officer and his memories. Now, but who is the man? That's why I use that phrase in the thumbnail. Who is the man that shot him? Why is this identity being kept secret from the public? Other times when police shootings, those people are plastered all over the news. I can count numerous times where these things have happened and the identity of the suspect has been released so people can condemn them, people can hate on them, whatever the case may be. So once again, I may be wrong and this information will come out, but I believe that this suspect has not been released, or his identity has not been released to the public because he may be a white man. Of course, once again, the system protects whiteness at all costs. And as I stated in my previous video, I don't, agree with violence. As Malcolm X said, violence is wrong in America. Violence is wrong abroad. But if it's wrong to be violent, defending black men, black women, and black babies and black children, then it's wrong to be for America to draft us and choose us to be violent abroad. Now, he used that in the context of speaking against the war. But if it's wrong for people to shoot police, then it's just as wrong for police to shoot people. A lot of all the officers, and they mentioned all the officers from surrounding areas coming support and, memorializing, showing support for the fallen officer. But where's all the officers in the departments and all of the mayors and the flags flown half staff when officers kill people unjustly? That is the major question, because a life is a life. No life is above the other. As the Bible says, scripture says, God is no respecter of persons. So you show no partiality especially to the poor. So I find it very contradictory how all the love and support is shown by police when a police officer gets killed, but those same police show no love, support, and honor to the families of those lives they have taken. So many people feel no sympathy for these instances. And I have to admit, like I don't, like I mentioned before, I'm numb to it. I see police killed I see police kill black men every day. That's what this channel has been focusing on for the past, I don't know how long. So when I see a police officer killed by someone, I'm numb to it. I don't feel nothing either way in that regard, because once again, somebody might use the phrase, what's good for the geese is good for the gander, and those and so forth. So once again, I don't advocate violence. I don't, rejoice in anyone's death. Let me make that clear. But, I think once again, as I mentioned in the last video, this is, the chickens coming home to roost. When you sow seeds of violence against the community, and then the community starts sowing those seeds back to you, then you first have to look in the mirror and say, okay, what have we done to cause these things to be as such? But y'all let me know what y'all think about the video. Why is this man's identity not being released? Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. And as always, y'all see the number 919-587-7782. I thank y'all for liking, watching, sharing the videos, and subscribing to the channel. Also the calls, emails, texts, and also the cash apps. And donations are very appreciated. Don't forget, if you want to order my books, they are on TaylorHousePublications.com. Really appreciate your support. Thank you. And as always, Peace and blessings.